Okay, so for this video, I want to go through how to find the values of A and D when you have an arithmetic sequence. So remember, an arithmetic sequence is also known as a linear sequence, and the formula that we used for that was Tn, so term number n is A plus n minus 1 multiplied by D. Okay, where A is the first term and D is the common difference. So it could be something like, 2, 5, 8, 11. So we'd have A is our first term, and our common difference would be 3. Okay, but if we're given two terms of an arithmetic sequence, we can use simultaneous equations to find the values of A and D. So for example, you might be given term 10 and term 20, and you have to find what A and D is. So we're going to use this here formula to find A and D if we're given two terms. So when we look at an example, that'll make more sense. Okay, so term 4 of an arithmetic sequence is 11, and term 9 is 21. Find the values A and D, and hence find term 50. Okay, so we remember our formula, Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. Okay, but that's not much use to us. We don't have an A and we don't have a D, but we can still use this. So we have T4, okay? And we know that every term is going to be in this form, A plus, now we know what n is because it's 4, so it's 4 minus 1 times D. Okay, and we can simplify that out to A plus 3D because 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so that's one term. Now we do the exact same thing to term 9. So term 9, we have got A plus 9 minus 1 D, or A plus 8D. Okay, and we see that term 4 is equal to 11 and term 9 is equal to 21. Okay, so we can actually now, using these two equations, we can do simultaneous equations on these. So I'll write these up at the top right now. So we've got A plus 3D equals 11, and we've got A plus 8D equals 21. Okay, so if you remember back to simultaneous equations, you see we've got the same variables, or the same coefficients with A, so we can just minus, minus, minus here. And we get the A's are gone, so 3 minus 8 is minus 5D, and 11 minus 21 is minus 10, and then we just simply have to divide by minus 5, and we get D equals 2. Okay, and then we've got D equal to 2. We can now find what our A is. Remember, we can sub back in. So we have A plus 3 times 2 equals 11. A plus 6 equals 11. Now we can just minus our 6 and we get A equals 5. Okay, so we've got D equals 2, A equals 5, and now we can find our Tn. So Tn equals, so first of all it's A, so A is 5 plus n minus 1 times D. So 5 plus 2n minus 2, and to simplify, 2n plus 3. Okay, so now we find our Tn, and it also asks us to find T50. So remember, when it tells us to do that, we just sub it in. So T50 is 2 by 50 plus 3, so that's 100 plus 3. So we've got 103. So we just need to remember that you know how to do all this, but this bit on the left-hand side, you just need to remember to sub in to your formula. Okay, so you sub in 4 and you sub in 9 into the formula for n, and then you do simultaneous equations with that. Okay, so I'll scroll down and we'll get you to do one yourselves. So same as before, you've got T5 and T10, and you have to find A and D based on that. So I'll give it a second and then I'll delete the orange square. Okay, solution coming now. Same as before, you want to sub in for T5 and T10, and then you can do your simultaneous equations, and then you can work out Tn and T50. Okay, so moving on from there, what if it has algebra terms? Should have written a title there, algebra terms. Okay, so instead of having normal terms like 1, 3, 5 or whatever, what if we are told the terms of an arithmetic sequence? So this one is T1, this one is T2, this one is T3. Okay, in this one, now, if you think about it like a sequence like this, let's have 3, 5, 7, 11. Okay, how do we find d? Well, you can just see it by looking at it. It's going to be 2. But to find it, you can do 5 minus 3 equals 2. Or you can do 7 minus 5, that's equal to, or 11 minus 7, that's also equal to 2. So you take one term away from the one in front of it. So you take, for example, you do 5 minus the one before it, 7 minus the one before it. Okay, so that's how you work out this. Now, for this question, we need to do that except with algebra. Okay, so we need to first do term 2 minus term 1 to find out what our common difference is. So we've got 2x minus 2, then we're minusing x plus 1. Now make sure to put that in brackets because you're minusing the whole thing. Then we will also have term 3 minus term 2 over here, because these are going to be the same, because you can see they're all equal to 2 down here, so when we minus them they're going to be the same. So we've got 2x plus 1 minus 2x minus 2. Okay, so we simply have to do this algebra. So 2x minus 2 minus x minus 1, we have got x minus 3 here, equals 2x plus 1 minus 2x plus 2. So remember, minus by minus will give you a plus there. Just get rid of them. Okay, so we've got 2x plus 1 minus 2x, so the x will cancel out, and we've got 1 plus 2, so 3. Okay, so we can just add this up. We can do plus 6 plus 3 here, plus 3 here, and we will get x equals 6. So we have to solve a little linear equation in the middle of that. Okay, now that you've found your difference, the next thing you want to do now, so first of all, you want to find x. So we've got x equals 6. Second thing we want to do is make the sequence. Okay, so our sequence is x plus 1, so that's 6 plus 1. Our second term is 2 by 6 minus 2. And our third term is 2 by 6 plus 1. Okay, now we just simply multiply out that algebra, and hopefully this will be right. We've got 7, we've got 2 by 6 is 12 minus 2, we've got 10, and we've got 12 plus 1 is 13. Okay, and you can see very clearly how that works. We've got 7 going up to 10, so that's a plus 3 there. 10 up to 13, that's a plus 3 there as well. Okay, so we've got our A, which is 7, and we've got our D, which is 3. So now that we've made the sequence, we've got our A and D, we can now, just as before, find out what Tn is. So we've got, remember, A plus n minus 1d. It's in the formula book, but you might as well learn it. So A is 7 plus n minus 1 times 3. Zoom out a little. So 7 plus 3n minus 3, which is, I'll actually just zoom in further. We have got 3n plus 4. Okay, so we've got 3n plus 4 as our Tn there, and we're told to find T100. So T100, that's term number 100, is 3 times 100 plus 4. So we've got 300 plus 4, which will be 304. Okay, so for this one, the main thing you need to remember is this part up at the front. Okay, so when you've got algebra terms, you need to minus them from each other. So you've got these algebra terms, you need to minus them from each other. So the second one minus the first one, and the third one minus the second one. And then you work out what x is, then you sub them back in. So to make the sequence, you sub them back into the original. And then you can, once you find your A and D, it's very easy to find your Tn and your T100 or whatever number you're given. Okay, quite a lot going on in that question, but it's good to know how to do these and to do lots of extra algebra bits. Okay, so just to finish off, I'll leave you one of these to do yourselves, and then we will leave it at that for this video. Okay, so you can pause it and try this one yourself, and then I'll delete the orange square. Okay, it is quite a long one to do, but it's all right. We will delete this here. You've got all the parts. So find x first, so let them equal to each other. Create the sequence, so find x, create the sequence, and then get Tn and T20. Okay, that'll do for this one.